You think $1.3 million for 3/4 of an acre, half an acre, whatever it was, and versus 20 acres for $20,000. That is possible in 2025. It's July 2025. I promise there is a place that you can get $1,000 an acre for 20 acres right now. When you do that, you need to get builders in. Now you're going to run into some issues in these smaller places getting builders in. But typically, if you're doing a Bull Farms thing or if you're doing a Live Oak Lake thing, it's like a one-time thing. And if the project's big enough, people will travel to that. So most people know somebody that's 2, 3, 4 degrees away from them in connections that will actually bring a team out and build it.
The Hideaway Show behind the curtain. I'm here with Mike. Happy Friday. Lots of great stuff happening. But first things first. How's your Friday going?
Did pretty good so far. I'm really excited for it. I have a day at the computer. Yesterday I did not. The day before I did not. So I'm pumped.
What was yesterday?
Thursday, I had a ton of
meetings.
Ton of meetings. I mean, I have a bunch of meetings today, including this one, which is my favorite meeting of the month by far.
I knew it. I knew it.
I know you.
No, dude, it's crazy anymore where I used to really live for Fridays. And not to say I'm not excited when it is Friday, but I'm almost bummed that it's Friday because then I'm like, oh, like I still work on the weekends, but it's like Monday through Friday is like you just ripping through stuff, having conversations around acquiring new properties, building new properties. I just like the weekend is probably good for me because it forces me to like just like level set for a little bit.
Yep. You know what? Like I love about weekend work or after hours work is nobody's trying to bother you. Right. If somebody emails me like 8 a.m. on a Tuesday, I'm like, all right, I should probably get back to them by the end of the day. Like I'm really good at not checking it 24/7. It's like I'm going to take an hour and do that. But on like Friday, Saturday, it's like I don't even open it. I don't care what you guys want. I'm working on my projects, my fun projects.
Yep.
So
yeah. Something about some weekend work, which is really nice. Weird to say. Most people be like, you guys are crazy, but you know, I still spend a good amount of the weekend with family, and we do meal prep on Sunday, getting ready for the week. But I get up early on Saturday. That's normally when I'm editing this beautiful podcast, assuming the kids allow for it and decide to sleep. But yeah, it's been a good busy week, and I think every week just seems to go quite quicker and quicker and.
Such is life, right? Here we are.
Dude. I think we were talking about this the other day. I was like, I don't have much time left. Like I want all these cool projects we have going on. Like it's just gotta happen now. And everyone's like, dude, you're 33 years old, right? Like you have a lifetime ahead of you.
Yeah.
It's not to say like get complacent, but it's just a good reminder of like, okay, just
we'll get there.
Yeah,
it's always fun to look back. It's actually funny. We have our scrum after this. We had to move it for after this. And one of the things that I put in there is look how far we've come. Because it does. You can get overwhelmed and just be like, oh my gosh, like I'm not where I want to be. I got to do this. I got to do that. Like all this. And then you look back. Like for me, it's my photo reel. Whenever I take a flight somewhere, I take a flight every other month because my whole life changes every single flight I ever take. And I literally will go through my photo reel, not attached to any Wi-Fi or anything like that. I'll go through my photos and I'll organize them. And it takes me a whole like across the United States flight to get everything organized just from whenever the last flight was, which is very inconsistent, no frame of reference to how much I fly. But that being said, like I will go through and organize them. And then I look back at the end and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like it doesn't feel like you're doing a lot in the moment. And you look back and you're like, holy smokes, to keep this PG, like holy smokes, like I have accomplished a lot in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
For case in point, like a week from today, we will be setting up the silos. And a year ago today, I was sitting on an empty platform with no building on it. Right. And it's like, 52 trips down there, at least hours talking to people, millions of dollars spent. And it's like, I wish they would have launched last month, you know? So,
but then you take that step back and look at everything you've done. It's so true, right? You don't realize like the growth that you have day over day, hour over hour. It's like working out. It's like with anything that, you know, you are progressing in.
Yep.
If you don't measure it or you don't have something to refer back to, it may seem like, gosh, like we didn't do anything. But you look at it and it's like, no, I did a lot, right?
Yep.
I did a lot. So I'm excited for the launch of the silos. I'm excited for all the other new projects and exciting things we have coming down the pipeline. So we're just getting started. It's going to be a fun rest of 2025, and 2026 will be here before we know it.
Can't wait, dude.
So, oh, dude, I thought my the
You did
lady's
it?
name on my desk. No, I
Uh,
thought she started talking. I was like, oh,
the girl with no face.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, see, every once in a while she'll chime in, but
Yeah.
I think it was something else. So, with that being said, let's dive into our topic today before we head over to the end of the episode where we were talking about the Would You Book It segment. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I'm
Okay.
going to throw it out there again. I'm still trying to pick up the pieces from when I dropped the ball with the school bus. I got another one here that I think is just going to close the gap on me, laying an egg with the school bus. But nonetheless, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's dive into the topic today, which is why location is no longer the most important factor when it comes to short-term rentals, but specifically unique short-term rentals. And a lot of people are going to be like, Jordan, you're crazy. Because everyone talks about location. Let me say it one more time for people in the back. Location is key. So, am I crazy for saying that?
I think that people,
It's okay. You can say
I think people will say that you're crazy. I'll disagree with him. I would like to disagree with you because I think podcasts where people disagree have a lot more viewership. However, I'm not going to lie because I believe in integrity. And I think that you're spot on with unique properties. Location matters huge to the Airbnb market as a whole. But in what we're doing and the direction that we're going, I think location actually hurts us, to be honest. So
really,
yeah.
Expand on that.
Price. It's expensive. You want to go to a place where everyone is like Gatlinburg, you're going to pay quite a bit of money to be there. And it's going to increase the amount of work that you have to do and the minimum number of reservations that you have to get just to break even.
That's true.
Right. Whereas if you can get the acquisition cost, for a quarter of that, the build cost for a quarter of that doesn't come without its headaches. We're not paying the price in dollars. We're paying the price in experienced labor and people that don't care and things like that.
There's give and take with that. That's actually, when I put this topic together and it came to me, I wasn't actually thinking about it from that perspective. So I'm glad you brought that up. Just from a point of reference for, what does land go for here in the gorge on average, roughly per acre?
Do you want to know I'll give you the range. I'm not going to give you an average because that's impossible.
Give me
the range. I can find land today for $1,000 an acre, right? Probably a few hundred acres for $1,000 an acre. I could also show you a couple lots today that are for sale right now for $300,000 an acre.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So it is next to impossible to just pinpoint down.
So it varies, but so that's great that you said that. And I don't know if this is still the case, but my in-laws have a place down in Fort Myers Beach. Well, Fort Myers now. They used to have a place in Fort Myers Beach. Fort Myers Beach, when the hurricane came through and devastated everything, there were a lot of open lots, open land for sale.
Yep.
All the places just got demolished. So they were essentially starting from scratch and selling the land over again. You want to know what a half acre to 1 acre, I don't even know if they were 1 acre. They may have been 3/4 acre lots. You know what those things were going for? Just the land. I want to see if you can guess. I want to see if you're even close.
For a half acre lot?
Half acre to 3/4 acre.
200,000.
1.2 million.
For a blank piece of land that's not even an acre?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Now, I think there's a little, so if you go, if there's a street that runs down Fort Myers Beach if you're going, I don't know what direction. Anyways, there's one side is beachfront. The other side is bayfront. Beachfront is the 1.2 million. Bayfront, still though, for a 3/4 acre, I think you were going to pay, I mean, the discount on that was like, I don't know, 300,000 or 400,000. So you were still paying 700,000-800,000 just for the land. And I'm just thinking from the perspective of if, I don't know how big short-term rentals are down there. I don't think they're huge. There are some down there, but could you imagine trying to start a project and the land itself is more expensive than our entire project would be in the gorge?
Not even a little bit. But it's
beachfront, Mike. Location.
I mean, but I just the thing is I get appreciation. I love the equity in houses and I love inflation proofing your income and all the things that come with it. But is there a cap? Right? Whereas can you buy a $1.3 million half acre lot and think that you can actually still make money? Right. And if that's the case, the people that are like, I don't know. I look at the different rates of growth of things, like the income level of people, the housing prices, and like there's definitely a disconnect in the speed at which some of those things are growing, which typically, in my opinion, means there's some sort of reset coming down the line. But that being said, if it's that expensive to get there, it's going to be that much more expensive to stay there when you're
Right.
done. Right. It's like, can people actually afford that?
Right.
So,
And that also, you also start to factor in is like what percentage of the population can afford to stay at this place that
mhm.
you're going to have to charge $1,000, $2,000. Maybe it's more than
Yep.
that, $3,000 a
Yep.
night to stay there. Right.
Yep.
What it, sure, maybe it sleeps 20 people. So you get, but I don't think I've ever taken a trip with 20 people. So
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
how many people are
Yep.
doing that? And how many people are willing to pay it? I'm sure there's a good amount of the population that would pay that, and it could be a worthwhile investment. But it
Yep.
seems like there's too much risk with that. And again, I think location. I don't want to say location isn't important, right? But it's
Yep.
not the most important factor when you look at the unique and experiential stays. I think what is more important is creating a property or a destination that is so desirable that people don't care where it's at.
Yep.
They have to go experience that property.
Yep.
If that's in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, but if it's the nicest property in the world and it's got a hot tub up in the cliff,
Yep.
people want to come and stay and experience that.
Yep. I completely agree with that. And I think that it's almost a generational shift. Like, I never really thought about it this way, but I think it actually makes sense. The before location was based on foot traffic, horse traffic, road traffic, like people going by, right? So if you have a
Yep.
natural draw to go there, say a grocery store or a convenience store or I don't know, theater, right? You've got something that's going to pull you there. All the Subways and McDonald's and CVS's, they want to be near that because you're going to remember, oh, I'm hungry. Or you're going to remember, oh, I need to pick up my prescription or whatever,
Right.
get some toilet paper, right? So you're going to be there. We are now in, I don't know if global is the right word, but like the digital based economy where this actually makes a lot of sense. I just might have figured this whole thing out right here.
Light bulb moment for
Oh
Mike.
man, hold on tight. We might get deep here. But I sit in my driver before I leave my house here in Louisville, Kentucky, every single time that I go anywhere. The thing that I do is pop open Google Maps. I could have been there 100 times before. I am directionally impaired. Of all the things that I got blessed with in this beautiful life, directions was the last one, and it got like -6. Right. I will get lost leaving my neighborhood if I don't have on Google Maps. And I'm not even kidding. And it's a straight line to the road. So that being said, I put on Google Maps and I go wherever it is I need to go. But what that's done is I don't go across the street to Arby's because I know that Chick-fil-A, man, I was trying not to say Chick-fil-A. I go to Chick-fil-A. I'm going to admit it right here. Moment of honesty, vulnerability here. I'm sorry. I eat too much Chick-fil-A. I was going to say Chipotle, right? They start with the same letters like I'm going to use, right? So if I want to eat something, I'm going to put it in my map. I'm going to go down and I'm going to go to that place and get that food. It doesn't really matter if it's 2 hours away, I'm not going to go. But if it's right here or it's right there, I'm going to go right there because I know it's there, not because I'm already in that thing. So it kind of does take the location out of it to a degree. What we're selling is way more intention based than my Chick-fil-A decision, right? What we're selling is I want to relax, to disconnect, to be seen at this place. I know that I'm going to travel to it, right? So it takes the location factor to an even further disconnect, in my opinion, because it's like I'm going on vacation. I want to be far away, right? I want to be, I'm going to go to Florida or I'm going to go to, California, but I live in Chicago. So like both of them are a trek, and I think that really does prove your point where if you can get it in front of people and you can get seen to the extent that it's accessible, right? If you've got to fly 12 hours and then you've got to drive 12 hours and then you've got to get on a horse and go through the mountains, like maybe not quite as much, but to the point that it's accessible, I completely agree with that.
Just wait until you see my Would You Book It segment.
Oh,
You
man.
kind of described
Yeah.
exactly that for this property. But nonetheless, you're again, don't get ahead of yourself, Jordan. I know you're excited.
It's like Machu Picchu, but like an Airbnb on the top, like 6 days on horseback, 19 miles through the woods.
You're gonna be. I'll just see if I can pull the video that they explain how to get to the property. But nonetheless, you're spot on with that. And I think there are prime examples out there today of people who have done this and it's worked tremendously well. some may say better than many other properties out there. So I think one perfect example that a lot of people know about, I'm still surprised that there's still a good amount of people that don't know of this place, is Live Oak Lake in Waco, Texas. That is a perfect example of, like, there are things to do in Waco, but there's nothing like that. Unless you're a huge, I will say this, because my wife would disagree slightly with me,
Chip.
that Chip and Joanna game. That is the sole reason she would go to
Yeah.
Waco. But
Yeah.
now Live Oak Lake is a reason why people go there, and it's
Yeah.
because it has that desirable destination experience where, I mean, he curated such an experience. The moment you hit the road, you're almost like how he said, he's like, I'm transcending them into a different world, essentially, right?
Yeah.
They're going through a gate and it's its own community. It's got individual properties. It's got a communal
Yeah.
area. It's got a container pool. It's got a fire pit area. It's got a giant lake in the middle, right? That is why people go to Live Oak Lake. It's not
Yeah.
people are going to Waco. Or I should say the majority. The majority of people aren't going there to go to Waco and then, like, oh, by the way, I guess we'll just stay at Live Oak Lake.
Yeah, I just found it while I was there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few that could say that, but so that's one example. Bolt Farm Treehouse, they're in Whitwell, Tennessee, which I think is near.
Dude, Whitwell, the thriving metropolis of Whitwell. You don't think?
Yeah, not familiar with that area. I mean, they have 32 units that's valued at, what they say, that thing's valued at like 32 million, and
people easily.
Now, yeah, the only kicker with Live Oak Lake versus Bolt Farm Treehouse is they do have a view, so that does play into their favor with that. But I mean,
so question on that: Does location? So maybe we're disproving ourselves with that sentence. Does location matter more about what the location offers your guest versus what it's near in relevance to Target and theaters?
Yeah, so I think that's our point. Is it's not necessarily like just build the most beautiful property in like a swamp in a junkyard, right? That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
But I think what we're trying to get to is it doesn't have to necessarily be in Gatlinburg, in Sedona, in Scottsdale, in Joshua Tree, right? Like those, you can still do well in those markets. But what we're saying is, like, if you build a desirable enough property on a piece of land, if it has a view, it only gets better from there. You can still work with a flat piece of land in the woods. You know, you could add a lake, or if it had a lake on it, that's still going to work out great, right? But what we're saying is, you know, if it's within 2 to 3 hours of major cities, that's great. Even if it's 4 hours, though, right? Like how far is Indianapolis from the Gorge? 3.5?
Yeah, that's probably right.
Around there. And we get a ton of people that come from Indianapolis to come down there. You know, a lot of people normally, like, anything past 2 hours, you don't get many people that are driving down there. And we get a ton of people that drive down from Indianapolis and even a little bit further out. So it's that desirable product that you're delivering. That's what they want to come stay at. If we had, if we had just a cabin up next to a cliff in the gorge with no unique features on it, we're gonna get standard rates. We're gonna get the standard We're gonna get the people who are traveling to the gorge, and like, oh, by the way, we were on Airbnb and found your property. We're staying there, right? Versus, we still do get some of those guests, but now what we are starting to do is tapping into a market of people who didn't even. There's even people in Lexington and Louisville that didn't even realize the gorge existed, and they're what, 1 to 2 hours away.
I would say 1 to 2 hours. The most common thing I hear is either, oh yeah, I went there when I was 6. I'm like, it's not Disneyland. It's a place to go for the weekend. Like, I don't understand. I went to Disneyland when I was 6 too, but it's a completely different experience. And it's a cool place to, like, just go chill and hang out. It's easy to get to. It's easy to access. Like, I don't understand it, but
yeah. The third example that I have, and Mike, I don't know if you've ever seen these. I actually found them a day or two ago. The Finger Lakes tree houses in Sodus, New York.
What?
That they have, like, I don't know, there's like 7 or 8 of them. They're just like in a line, and they built a platform, so like as you walk through, you can just like turn left into like your own little tiny A-frame. And they've done well for themselves. They built a brand. They built a following. I'm sure from that following, they have tons of direct bookings. But Sodus has 1,000 people in that town. There's nothing really there. Now, I think it's near mountains, but again, that's 2 or 3 hours away. So what we're saying is location is still an important aspect. I don't want to discredit and be like, scrap location. You can build Dunlap Hollow in a junkyard and make $250,000. Unfortunately, that ain't gonna happen.
Well, I don't know, man. Junkyard's an experience. We could, no, I don't want to get too far off topic here.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Mike's going to,
left turn.
no, but it's secondary,
Yeah.
right? For these unique and experiential stays. And that's what people are desiring. And we're starting to experience that firsthand
Yep.
with the naturalist and the stoic. I know we talk about the naturalist all the time. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's we have it all over our socials, our direct booking site. But the naturalist is a perfect example of how you can take a property that was good and people found it on Airbnb to making it that desirable destination that people now know about on social, and they're like, I don't know where this place is, but I need to go. Right?
Yep.
The two
Yep.
questions we get from people on social, which I won't say it. They ask first, where can I book? And I'm like, you helpless souls. Like it's right in the
Right there. Yep.
I mean, it's right. You're a click away. But I'm happy to help them, and I always do. The second one is, I didn't realize that. Like, I didn't realize this was Kentucky. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Kentucky. I have to go. Right? They're not like, oh, Eastern Kentucky. Yeah, I'm out. Right? Like, I think we've had a few that have said that, but with that, they're almost betting themselves for us, right? They're not the ideal guest that we're targeting. And we'll get a lot of people too that will say, hey, your place seems overpriced. And that's fine, because you're not the ideal guest that we're targeting, because our calendar proves. And as we continue to increase those rates until we find out how much people are not willing to pay, we're going to continue increasing that. And our calendar, I mean, it's the top performer. The Naturalist is the top performer out of all of our properties for August and September already. It's surpassed our.
I think we're going to beat Breed. I think we're going to beat Cooper Pines for October this year. I can't wait.
And Cooper Pines is a 3-story A-frame. Now, like Cooper Pines, the thing about the A-frame is, like you always said, Mike, you hate the structure of the A, but I think people just see it and they're like,
they love it.
I've never
diagonal lines, man.
Right, but I think a perfect use case there is the Naturalist has the unique, desirable hot tub feature in the cliff versus the A-frame has the structure. For now, we're going to add to it, but for now it has that, but it doesn't have anything else with it that's really like unique. There's no unique amenities that go with it. And I'm really interested to see with that property, as we add those unique amenities to that, what that can do, right? And we double down on this concept of the desirable product that people want to go to. The property is the destination. I think will continue to prove itself over and over again. And those are the people that own unique short-term rentals or experiential stay short-term rentals are the ones that are not saying the world of short-term rentals is coming from. Those you don't hear those people being like, you should get out, right?
No, let's play that out though, because I want to like dive deep into this, because people might be getting confused about location's not, like whatever. The thing, like the way that I look at it is you've got two different choices, right? If you aren't sure about your ability to build a unique rental, right, in any capacity, right? If you're new to short-term rentals, if you're new to Airbnb, if you never owned real estate, any of those things, and you're diving in, you're like, I want to do it, I have no idea where to go, right? Then maybe like location's going to matter a little more, because what you're going to do is the Blue Ridges, the Gatlinburgs, the Joshua Trees, right? They naturally have traffic that comes to them. There's a lot of people that know about it. There's a lot of people that visit every single year, millions and millions and millions of people that visit every single year. And because of that, you're going to get a visibility. You're going to have to do less work on the marketing front. So if their focus, in my opinion, should be on acquisition, right? Get the best deal that you can get. Because if you pay $1.3 million for a lot, then have to build a house on, stack up the payments that you're going to have for that. And that's the minimum number of reservations that you get in order to just break even, right? A lot of risk, a lot of work, very little reward at the end of it, right? But it's going to get you the experience. And don't think that Jordan and I skipped that step, right? We went through all of that. So then we started to inch our way into this more unique space. And now it's like not doing anything else, right? The inverse of that, though, is we have this middle of nowhere place, right? Say Waco, Texas, or Whitworth, what was Tennessee? Whitwell, Tennessee. Excuse me. Sorry, both farms.
Thriving area. Come on.
Yeah. So you've got these places. What you get there is 20 acres for $20,000, right? Which is just insane, right? You think $1.3 million for 3/4 of an acre, half an acre, whatever it was, and versus 20 acres for $20,000. That is possible in 2025, it's July 2025. I promise there is a place that you can get $1,000 an acre for 20 acres right now. When you do that, you need to get builders in. Now you're going to run into some issues in these smaller places getting builders in. But typically, if you're doing a bulk farms thing or if you're doing a live oak lake thing, it's like a one-time thing. And if the project's big enough, people will travel to that. So most people know somebody that's 2, 3, 4 degrees away from them in connections that will actually bring a team out and build that. So if you say, hey, got this lot, put an RV on it, you're going to build, 5 unique cabins, that kind of thing. Once that's done, you've overcome those hurdles, you're in this deal at a fraction of the cost at what you would have been in for a Joshua Tree thing, right? Or a Gatlinburg price, because those markets are already high. Not saying it wouldn't work. You could definitely make it work. But this one, it's a fraction of the cost. So your risk is lower. What you need to actually bring people out there, your minimum number of reservations, is going to be a lot lower to pay your payments. And then once you get to that point, right? Say you had to have 30% occupancy, right? If you have the confidence that you can bring people out to be 30% occupied in your marketing skills, your connections, whatever it is, however it is that you're going to get people out there, then I say lean into that, right? As long as you build it right, as long as you've got the marketing capability to do it, because the upward potential there is massive, right? If all of a sudden you're expecting 30% and you've got 70, then your price starts to go up. And what we're seeing at the Naturalist is we started at what, 215 a night, 210 a night, something like that for our base rate, right? Adjustments with a lot of other things going into it. But that being said, I just adjusted us this morning and we are at 389 a night base for October. So the average, the base rate, which is insane. If you know anything about price labs, listen to a different episode for that one. But when you go into that, there are some nights in October right now that are $1,200-$1,300, and it would not surprise me one bit if those fly off the handle in the next 2 weeks, right? Because it's so freaking pretty out there. But we've got this demand on TikTok where people are like, I'm going to go book it right now so it doesn't get booked up the weekend that I want, right? And we're like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like it's booked all through August and September, but October's wide open. So anywho, that being said, the upward potential of what you can do with a truly unique property that has very low acquisition costs is huge. The negative side effect of that is you have to bring them in, right? You're going to bring those people there. So if you don't know how to do Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, paid ads, whatever it is that your source of bringing people in, if you don't know how to do that, then maybe don't start quite as remote, because that's a skill that is required at that point. When they go to Airbnb and they type in Joshua Tree, right? If you're in Red River Gorge and some, off the grid kind of hill somewhere else, or Whitmore, I can never remember it, wherever Bull Farms is, if you're there, you're not going to show up for the Joshua Tree search. You're not going to show up for the Knoxville search. You're not going to show up for the Nashville search, right? You're going to be way out there. So they have to get their stuff out in front of people. Now, personally, coming from the marketing world, I would much rather it be that way, because then I'm in control of my reservations, right? If you've got the Joshua place, say you paid $1 million for a house in Joshua Tree and your expenses are through the roof and you've got all these people there and all this competition that you've got to beat out, right? Your hot tub goes bad. All of a sudden it's another $10,000 that you got to pay. And you're just like hemorrhaging money. You need that money to come in. Well, if Airbnb, if you're saying I'm relying on Airbnb to bring all of my guests there because there's 10 million people a year, hypothetical number, I don't know if it is, but 10 million people a year that come through Joshua Tree, and you think that you can capture a percentage of that and keep yourself booked. Well, what if Airbnb changes their algorithm? Or what if Airbnb says you're not compliant, right? Your hot tub broke and you say you have a hot tub and you lied, I took your listing down. Well, now you have a $10,000 a month payment that you don't have any other way to get people in. To me, the security of marketing it myself, bringing the awareness and getting people out there is significantly easier than relying on the already existing traffic, beating out the competition that Airbnb provides. But you have to know how to do that skill. So.
Yeah, it is definitely a skill either you need to learn to acquire or find someone who is talented.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's where we have a good mix, where I do a lot of the social stuff and you do a lot of the paid ads.
Yep.
I know nothing about the paid ads world. You could do that in your sleep, right? Vice versa with social. We've kind of figured out our specialty in that space, which has been great. The one thing you said that I want to emphasize as we round this out before we get into our Would You Build segment is, I think the one thing that won't change is how crucial and important acquisition is. I don't ever think that's going to change.
Nope.
Where if you buy a bad deal, it doesn't matter how much marketing and how much of
Yep.
that stuff you
Yeah.
do, your return is going to suffer as a
Yeah.
result of it. And we have experienced that time and time again. And we are finally at a point of realizing like those property, they are just not worth it if you cannot acquire it at a price that makes the deal worth it.
Yep.
Walk away from that deal if just
Yep.
just because you emotionally you're like, I'd be willing to pay an extra 100,000 for that. I can tell you right now firsthand, do not do it.
Yep.
You will regret it time and time again because
And you're literally just putting money in your pocket, though. A good acquisition is just putting money in your pocket. If it's worth $300,000 for things that you know about that someone else might not, and you can get it for $100,000 today, that is how you build long-term wealth right there.
Yes. Yep.
Right. And just like you said, the inverse of that is how you get to bankruptcy very quickly.
Yeah.
Like it's not pretty.
Yeah.
So
And unfortunately, some of that is like through lessons learned. It's easy for me to sit here and say that. If you would have told me that with when we bought our Texas property, I would have ignored you entirely, as I did some people, and I was just like, that's fine. We'll be able to make up for it. You have this almost like self-bias of I can get this thing rented. It doesn't matter what the market's doing. I believe in myself, and you quickly get humbled when you don't know as much as you think you know.
Yeah.
And that happens. But again, those lessons learned have catapulted us to where we are today. And what we have coming down the pipeline for some projects is really exciting. But we won't get into that yet. Those will be topics for another day. Hey guys, real quick, just want to jump in here and say, if this show has been sparking ideas and helping you level up your short-term rental game, we would be so grateful if you drop us a 5-star review. It helps us and this show reach even more people who want to build wealth through unique, unforgettable stays, just like you. So thanks for being a listener. Now, back to the show. We're still going to find someone to do like a graphic and like some cool little audio that comes up and it's like, we are ready for the Would You Book It segment. And then it's like Mike and Jordan's like floating heads. And it's just like, we are ready for the Would You Book It segment. So for any first time listeners, the Would You Book It segment we do every single week. Mike and I bring a property that neither of us know about. Mike doesn't know my property. I don't know Mike's property. And we approach it from the perspective from two different lenses. Would you book it as a guest? And would you host it as a real estate investor? So what we try to do is find properties that are unique or have components of them that are unique. So with that being said, I think I'm up first this week. So let me get this bad boy over here.
I can't wait.
I'm excited to share it with you. I'd never seen this place before. When I came across it, I was like, this is it. This is not a school bus. This is way better. I'm hard on myself when it comes to that school bus.
The school bus wasn't as bad as you make it, but wasn't your best. I'll tell you that.
It wasn't my best. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, this is what we got.
I've seen these before.
We got Ovo Patagonia. These little glass. I don't know what shape they are.
Dome teardrops.
Built into the side of the cliff, and I mean. Unique as it gets, 270 meters high. You have an incredible view.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing with this is how you get there. I want to see if
I
can find.
I was going to say, well, how do you get there? Like parachute into it?
There was a video I watched somewhere. No, dude, you got to like.
Oh, are they on? Is it like a chairlift type thing?
No, it's a via ferrata that you have to walk across to get to it. So you have to. I think like there's like, I don't know if this is it, but there's a path you have to walk. You have to hike for like half a day. And when you get done hiking, there's a location where you essentially, you get to shower, right? You shower, you kind of relax before they take you to the rest of the trip. And then once you're showered up and rested and ready to go, which the shower and the little lobby that they have is incredible. Then you go on a little bit more of a hike. I can't remember if they had to take it via horseback. But then you get to the Via Ferrata, you get the helmet on, you hook in, and it's literally stairs on the side of a cliff to get.
I'm gonna send you. Can I send you a message? I didn't send you here.
Gosh, this must not be it.
I found it.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm trying to find your message here.
But
there you go. Pop that open from your text there.
Oh, there it is. How to get to.
They look at the footpath there on the middle row on the right. They're like 4 over to the right. Keep going right there. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Dude, that's intense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. You walk on that, like this one right here. Look at that, dude.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, one, you want to talk about an experience, but two, I mean, dude,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would yeah, I'm not gonna get into it,
What
but dude,
one of the things that I love about this industry, oh my gosh, if you scroll down like two, it shows them all hanging from a bar.
this,
Keep going down. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Click on. No, there's one, it's similar, but it shows a little bit higher up. There's like an anchor at the top, and they're all just suspended from that anchor. It's crazy.
dude, it's
Um,
maybe it's like this one.
no,
Is that it?
it's that's it, but it's what that connects to on the other side. It looks like a cell tower.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. That being said, dude, this is an experience of experiences for sure. Where do you use? Does it have a bathroom in it? Oh, it does. It does. I was like, where do you use the bathroom?
Yeah. Breakfast in the room, breakfast. I think they bring a lot of the stuff out there so it's
Yeah,
cooked, ready to go.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's an experience of all
that
experiences. That's for
that
sure.
is unbelievable. So
Yeah.
I don't even know what this place is. I mean, they are booked out. They are booked.
Goodness.
Look at that, dude.
Yeah. I wonder if they need a bunch of lead time too to get everything set up for you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
I mean, $1,600 just to go stay
whew,
for one night. So,
dude, I will tell you right now, no and no.
really,
No and no. I love looking at these photos, and I would love to be like a marketing team for that. But I have no interest in suspending myself from a cliff overnight. And I have no interest in all of the complications that would come with managing that at all.
right? Yeah,
But I love it.
I mean, it is. It is.
Yeah.
So you. I'm surprised. I thought for sure
Yeah.
maybe you would you visit, see it, but not
Yeah.
sleep there.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
I wouldn't sleep at all.
Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
It has a net down below.
Yeah.
Oh, that would give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
No way. No way.
we we're watching a TV series and it's about I don't know, some murder investigation thing in Yosemite, dude. And I'll tell you what gives me the willies is when they're on the cliff and they look down. Oh, dude, my heart sinks. My hands start to get like clammy. My feet get clammy. I get real nervous. I saw a video the other day. You know, people sleep on the side of Elk.
Yep.
Right?
They hang from it.
Bolt and hang. But the video I saw, which as a parent I could not believe, this kid was probably 6 or 7. Sure, he's anchored in, he's braced in, he's jumping up and down on the cot as his dad records, and then he looks over the edge. I'm like, there is no way I'm letting my 6 or 7-year-old or any kid, even myself, go up and do that. So, but anyways, with that being said, back to Ovo Patagonia. Very cool concept. I am with you entirely. I would never sleep here. I would love to experience and see it. I think though I get to the Via Ferrata part, I might just become a big time baby and chicken out and ride around and go back. But I think this is such a cool experience. I'm sure there's people that would like this and someone would like to take this on as a property to manage. I would not. There's too much there's just too much risk, liability, headache. Like I'm sure cleaning it's probably pretty darn easy.
Could you imagine? It's like, oh, we lost the cleaner today. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, lost it. We lost the cleaner today.
Yeah, really.
Hold on. Yeah. Like, no, thank you. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I have a lot of respect for the owners of Ovo Patagonia because they have much bigger cojones than I do. That is not something I could do. So
that was that's that.
I think mine unique. Mine is similar in terms of like abstract locations, but much more grounded, if you will.
Okay. Anything's more grounded.
Yeah, I was gonna say
what world.
So this is the I like to say an ice hotel because it looks like it's one word here, but I think it's an ice hotel. What I'm like really impressed with this place, like firstly, looks freezing, but they literally have a hotel made out of ice that you can go in here and choose which room you want and scroll through all these different ice sculptures and crazy stuff. Yeah. Like it's pretty much.
It's cool looking. I'll give it that.
Right. So they've got this, but it is, I think what they've done a really good job with, it's unique beyond unique. Like they've done a fantastic job at that. But what I like even more is this experiences tab, right? So when you get there, you're not just staying in a hotel. They have a lot of things for you to do. You can choose between winter and summer. Not quite sure how the ice hotel works in the summer, but like ice sculpting, snowmobile rides, wilderness dinners, like they make it an experience all the way through.
Yeah.
Right. Which I think is awesome.
Wow.
And obviously very expensive from, I don't know what SEK is, but looks expensive just from the photos of it. So,
so that's this place.
Man, you got me. You got me. I don't know.
Like the north.
Let's see.
Pole, like this Santa's ice village. Oh, right there. Address.
What? Oh,
wherever that is.
Yeah. Let's see.
Finland.
Yeah, Sweden. Sweden. Yeah, a village located in Sweden.
Wow.
So, yep. Which makes sense, looking at it.
That is just wild.
It's just cool. Like the sculptures and stuff that they put in there. I'm like, I mean, that would have to last the whole winter. Like it would never get near freezing in order for all of this to actually like be worth doing. But in Sweden, I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Look, so if you read the description there, if you go back, look what it says. We have different types of rooms and cabins, both warm and cold rooms.
Yep. So I think they're warm are these.
Okay.
Like just normal rooms that they have there as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But that is not qualification for which book it. We're talking specifically about the cold room.
Okay. So I think for me, now I do love sleeping when it's super cold, right? if the house is freezing, those covers, I'm never getting out of the bed, right? That's a problem.
Yeah.
I think this is too cold for me, so I'm gonna have to say I would not book this, because I just think of, we stand outside for football games and my toes get cold. I could only imagine sleeping on the ice.
Yes.
Like, I'm sure like they have things in place so you don't get as cold, but I just think, I don't know if it'd be as enjoyable. It'd be something
you get like a
to
sheet.
see. Yeah, it'd be cool to see and walk through, and that's about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not staying there. So I would say no to staying, and I would say no to as a host as well. I don't know how to keep on ice and what that takes, and clean. Like, what if someone spills something, right? How does that work? Maybe you have rules that you don't allow some of that stuff in the room, so then it prevents it. But I just feel like there's.
I didn't even think about that. Like cleanup is like chiseling off the top layer after it was spilled.
Oh, I'm sure they have like a door or something where it's like, you get to wear these boots that have been professionally cleaned. This jacket, these gloves. Do not bring anything in here. You are sleeping. So.
That I think that's a really good way to put it. I am with you. I would not stay here. I love going to see ice sculptures, and I last about 45 minutes. Like I'm gonna go out there with all of my winter clothes on, go out there and see it, and then come back and be like, that was really cool, and go to a warm bar and grab a beer.
Yep.
So I would say definitely would love to see it, walk through it. Would not have any interest in actually staying at it. Hosting, I think I'm with you. I go back to, I actually listened to a Hermosa podcast this morning, and he said that when people come to him with these business ideas, he walks all the way through. Right. Well, what are you going to make, and how are you going to make that? And what is it going to take to get there? And how long is it going to take? And then at the very end, this is like Trump question. And he's like, well, is that the best way to achieve those returns? Right. And most of the time people are like, well, no. Right. Most of the time it's like, well, if we keep doing what we're doing now and doing a little bit better, it's going to do much higher returns with a lot less work, that kind of thing. I think that's where I'd fall on with this is, maybe I would host it. Like I'd want the professionals there to figure it out. I think it would do really well. I think it's a genius idea.
Mm-hmm.
But is it worth, either the learning curve or the sculpting and all of that goes into it? It's like, could we make similar or better returns, not having to freeze ourselves all the time?
Even if you had to go to, how do you sell that? Right? Like, what does that sell? I mean, it has to be sold as a business, because I mean, at least the ice sculptures that you're not selling, that's not real estate, right?
Nope. It's just a business.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
that is insane. The fact that there are people that would like to sleep on a bed of ice is beyond me, right? Like, again, cool place to see. Hi, looks great, and out of here. And I'm with you too. A warm, cozy bar, nice cold beer.
Yep. it is very much amazing to me how different people are and how many of them there are in the world, right? Because there are people that love this, and I think one of my favorite things about the industry that we're in is there's a natural urgency. We have 365 days that are available, right? Not 366 ever. And I think because of that, it limits the number of people that we can actually host. So it's like, well, if your market's this big, but you only need 365, or 180 some, if you do it, 2 night stays, then it really does like whittle down what you can actually like achieve with that, which I think is fantastic. So,
Yep, 100% agree.
but
That's cool. The
yeah,
Ice Hotel. I like the fact that you said it all in one word. It
I
sounds
should tell.
fancier.
Yeah.
Way
It's more
fancier.
Swedish, in my opinion. I hope we
Yep.
don't have any Swedish listeners because they're probably cussing me. But
Well, very cool, man. The
yeah,
Ice Hotel and the suspended glass eggs is what we'll
yep.
call it.
Thanks.
Patagonia.
Yep.
Those things are so cool. And again, from a drone perspective, they would shoot great.
Yep.
I just, again, but I do think with these is a lot of people would be like, who would ever go stay there? And if you
Yep.
always thought of it from that perspective, I think you would be that's a limited mindset.
Yeah.
There are so many people in the world, and you
Yeah.
have this view on the world of what like you almost have tunnel vision of like what the world is and what people
Yep.
would be willing to do and experience and pay, because that's what you would be willing to do,
Yep.
experience and pay.
Yep.
And it's just a good reminder that obviously these exist because there are people that seek this and want to go experience it. So,
Yep.
unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. So for the people that do want to enjoy it, let me know how it is, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, well, cool, buddy. Well, I know we got a lot of stuff to get through today and heading into the weekend. So with that, that does it. Another amazing episode of the Hideaway Show, Behind the Curtain Edition. I'm Jordan Holmes. He's Mike Sebastian. Until next time, take care, everyone.